to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. We just want to give all thanks and praise to Mwenye Hinya, the one of absolute power who still reigns today. Mwenye Nyaga, the dazzling one, the gods of our ancestors, beloveds, because we are in a season where we are returning back to that time, not kind of returning back, but moving forward as we come back. Having learned so much from the Babylon system, but beloveds, I'm here really with a bit of a warning. I mean, soon you won't be able to leave Babylon. The time is coming where Babylon is not going to let you out. And already, if you look at what the laws are in the divided states, so many of our African American brothers can't leave if they're trying to use the legalese way to do it. But Babylon is shutting down, beloveds. Babylon is not going to allow you to exodus. You kind of benefited from Babylon all this time, and then you think you're just going to stroll out before, at your convenience. Babylon is shutting down. It's going to become more complicated to travel. You are going to have to get that green passport. You're going to have to participate. You're going to have to get the snake bite if you want to travel. And it's not even going to be that easy to travel, beloveds. Babylon is shutting down. As it's falling, I mean, so much is happening, beloveds. But they understand the power of melanin and having the melanated people on their soil. So they're not just going to let you go. We're going to have to reach a let my people go kind of situation. And you can see with all the plagues and the floods and the fires that are happening everywhere that there is a major shift. There's a major spiritual realignment that is now hitting the physical plane. Get out while you can. Even if it's just for a visit, where, so many people have come to visit and then just never gone back. Or gone back, wound up their things and come this way. Like, beloveds, there is no time. And I always find it quite fascinating when people contact me and they're like, okay, at the end of 2022, I'll visit Africa. And I'm just like, that's too far out there right now. Because you see, beloveds, things are not happening at certain times. Things are happening when they reach consensus. A conscious consensus, which is why media is pushing their agenda, which is why they're blocking out any other narrative. And you have to now look hard and far for the other narratives. Babylon is closing down, beloveds. And so if you feel urged to move, if you feel urged to leave, then now is the time to do it. And even if it's not to, if you can't leave Babylon, well and good. And Babylon is in every city. So Babylon is in the cities, beloveds. As much as the eye of Babylon is the divided kingdom and the heart of Babylon is the divided states. They have copy-pasted cities all over the world that promote the Babylon system. So the least you can do, beloveds, is to move out of Babylon's way. Get out of the cities if you can. Start to read the times and the signs, not what you're being told, but what's really going on. Because They've already predicted global famine, beloveds. They're already talking about food shortages. So make sure you're stocking up on food. If you're going to stay in the cities, secure yourselves. I mean, we've heard so much about the zombie apocalypse. But for you, those who want to leave, it is not going to be possible soon. And you can't put a date on it, but it's soon and very soon, beloveds. Every card that Babylon has been played. And they are literally, oh gosh, my cat. Sorry, Wadada. Babylon has played every card they have. It's the end. I mean, this is their grand finale. And you best believe they're going to go out with a bang, and they're not going to go out alone. So move supernaturally. Stop trying to figure things out, because even the money you're trying to save, the money system is going to be collapsed in order to be reset. So everything you're holding on to, don't plan like you have years. Plan like you have no time at all, beloveds. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki with just a warning and an alert. It's not only that you need to brace for impact because Babylon is literally about to crash, but it's going to be harder and harder to leave Babylon, beloveds. And so I'm just here to encourage you. Don't act like you have time. I feel like this last year, with everything that's been happening and how the lockdowns and how everything's been rolled out, for us chosen ones, it was literally like we've been bought some time, and we're still being bought some time. But none of us are moving like we have time. We're moving like, okay, I'm going to do what I can while this system is still alive. And then, by the time it closes, I'll have everything I need. Or even if I don't, I'll have done whatever I could within my capacity. So if you're planning to move soon. And even if it's not about you moving as a unit, although now I even separation, you see, you have to do these things with spiritual discernment. I would send a scout. The birds agree. Send a scout out to where you want to move, whether it's in the country, whether it's in Africa, wherever it is, whether it's back home in the Caribbean, to go figure some things out, to be the anchor, to be the spiritual anchor that pulls you all back. And don't just send that scout empty-handed. Each one should send him with their vibes, something that is meaningful and precious to them. At the least, do that. Send one person. And you need to already have come together with like-minded people. And I know for many of us, it's so difficult because, we were born in the enemy's camp, if you want to look at it like that. So, trusted friends and family are few and far between, but you do not walk alone, beloveds, at all. You have a spiritual team that is more real, and spiritual friends that are more real than your physical friends and your physical support network. But leave when you can. Even saying December is too far, beloveds. Leave while you can, because you don't know when they will shut this down, when Babylon will shut it down and say you can't travel. I think in the divided kingdom, they were already talking about essential travel, how they would, I don't know what the situation is now, but you would only be able to travel, if you had a resident permit. I think that's what happened when they had one of the severe lockdowns. If you had a resident permit for that country or something like that. That's how real it's going to get. And beloveds, the powers that be have been talking about the darkest winter, the dark winter. It's going to be a dark winter. And it's all about predictive programming. What if the dark winter wasn't last winter, but it's this winter? Like, people need to be thinking like we're at war. You need to have that mindset. Tap into the mindset that our ancestors had when they were fighting for the independence struggles, when they were fighting for the abolishment of the slave trade. Tap into that revolutionary spirit and what they had to do, how they had to conduct themselves, Because here, the Mau Mau, we actually initiated our children as young as toddlers. They were, initiated into the oath. And many young children became the highest level spies, beloveds. But get out of Babylon. And this isn't just Babylon as in the West, but this is the cities as well. Stock up on food, beloveds, while you still have time. We've seen like several major ports, I think the third major port in the world, but several major ports in China have been closed, which is once again going to affect, the movement of goods. So get what you need from the Babylon system while you can. Do what you need to do to move. If you're moving, you have enough time. If you're doing nothing, you're going to run out of time. Because time works in your favor. You can use time to work for you. That's why sometimes you'll sit down to do something and it will take you, you'll achieve so much more in like the space of an hour than, something that you thought would take you 3 hours takes you an hour or something like that. It's all because time works with you and for you. It's also an energy. So you need to start operating like you have no time at all so you can kick in a certain spiritual dimension of yourself that will move to give you solutions, out of the box solutions, out of the matrix solutions, supernatural ideas and movements to get you where you need to go and to get you where you need to be. And that's the hard thing because so many people reach out to me. We've started this relocation service. The links are down below. It's called Karibu Nyumbani or Welcome Home in Kiswahili. And, where we give people different contacts, et cetera, and help, and guide people back home. But people, the limitations I see are mental, beloveds. It's like you don't want it bad enough, or you don't really, really think the situation is bad enough. Otherwise, some of the things you ask wouldn't be asked because you have to move by faith and spiritually now. You can't say, okay, I'm going to wait till I get this amount of money. How can I get that money if I needed it tomorrow, like my life depended on it? That's the thing, beloveds. We need to start now operating like our lives depend on it if you're still in Babylon. I'm out of Babylon, beloveds. I'm just keeping an eye on how far this whole mandate is going to go. I'm storing away my food. I'm doing the next level things. Get out of Babylon. Stock up on food. Stock up on water. Get a generator or at least some kind of solar power, some kind of, power generating system. As I said, get camping gear. It could get that crazy. And if it doesn't, at least, you have a tent where you can go and bond with nature. And some sleeping bags. Move and act like your life depends on it, beloveds. You can see Babylon is like slow falling. I mean, it's like in slow motion, but that thing's going to pick up speed. And then it's going to be harder to get out of Babylon. So move while you still have time. Don't assume that you have all the time, any time in the world, because you really don't. Because we're not reaching milestones at given times. But at given consensus levels, like they'll push an idea, and once that idea becomes accepted in the global psyche, it's rolled out. Because everything is being rolled out so fast, beloveds. And that should tell you, because something else is happening on the other side. But especially if you have children, get out of Babylon. Stay uplifted. Tuko pamoja.